Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next week of class with just Joe and me. Say hey, Joe.
Hey.
Okay. So we're going to video record and give you some ideas to practice with this week because it's got plenty of time to practice. So if you find your guitar book, get yourself comfortable at your house and tune up. You can pause the video and do all that. And then I'm going to go ahead and run through the open strings with you just so that you can tune with me if you want to double check. So here we go, starting from string 6. We're going to play 4 of them and go string 6, 6, then 5. Then 4, then 3, then 2. So if we were in a band, you play perfectly with me or at home. We have a mother and daughter team, they can play together, or find a friend that's nearby and they can play with you, okay? So let's do that again, saying the string names. Ready, go. It's E and A and D and then G string and your B string and your E string. Okay. We have not discussed using a pick, so I'm going to use my thumb and it's quieter. And I'd recommend the downstroke, okay? And we were talking about last week, can you stop the string? 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, touch. If you did want to use a pick this week, I'm going to show everybody really quick my recommendations for using a pick. Picks come in lots of different shapes and sizes. This tends to be the regular one. This is a CSM Rocks pick that I picked up. Basically, I like the Fender style picks, and I like the ones that don't have a lot of flex. So I'm a big fan of heavies or mediums. What I do is I stick my pointer finger out, and on this very first knuckle joint right beside your nail, I put my pick, and it should be able to sit there. And then I put my thumb on top of it. What this allows me to do is I can make the pick really short, and when it's short, it can make the string very strident sounding. And then if I make the pick really long, I can brush. So when I'm playing strumming, my pick is really long and it actually is flexing in my hand. And if I make it really tight here, it doesn't flex at all, and I switch back. So I literally can change my pick length right in my hand. And the pick is actually sitting in this second joint, the back of the pick, and I'm actually just bending my pointer finger. And as I bend my pointer finger, it allows more pick to come forward. Okay, so long pick and short pick, and I can change all that up really quick. So, if you want to try with a pick this week, you can go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and do what we call alternate picking. Notice again, I'm not picking back here, getting that banjo sound, unless I want that. Nice and warm. Okay? So if you would look at pages 3 and 4, basically work on your string names, E's, A's, D's, G's, B's, and E's, and then work on them backwards, E, B, G, D, A, E, okay? So that was a review real quick of warming up on page 3 and 4. While you're doing that also, we've been working on touching the tuner and going around and touching the tuner as you play the string, and I would work backwards and go the other direction. Okay, I'm just kind of touching it. Remembering, whenever you take your hand and you palm any tuner, no matter whether it's a cello or a guitar coming from the back, thumb pressure, so taking your hand and rotating it counterclockwise will always make the string go higher. So if your tuner says you're on the flat side, the low side, you want to push it up, and again, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on the flat side. Okay, and we've been working on that. At your house, once you're in tune, you can practice little things of playing your outside strings, and I'd recommend taking your low tuner closest to you, string 6, and turning it down until you can get both strings to sound. Okay, like they don't ring anymore. To me, the string kind of sounds, the 2 strings just don't vibrate off of each other and make any kind of dissonance. So when it's finally when I don't hear any difference, I know it's perfect and not to touch it. Okay, so leave it alone. Review page 5. It's your finger names. Pima in your right hand, picking P-I-M-A, and in your left hand, your thumb, which we don't use, and fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are all going to use these today. On page 6, we've been going over this over and over again, and I wanted to refer to the board. Can you learn your musical alphabet? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, forwards and backwards, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. On that page, on page 6, bottom left-hand corner, in black and red, it says the naturally occurring half steps are found only between B's and C's and E's and F's. What does that mean? So here today on our string, here's the E string. Everywhere there's an E, the very next fret and the very next note has to be an F. So if you're on a piano, it's E and F. If you're on a guitar, it's E and F. If Joe and Wayne invent a new instrument called the Wayneophone in my garage, it will be an E and an F. Okay? If we're playing the violin, everywhere there's an E, there's an F. Okay? 12th fret on your E string is an E, so this must be an F. Okay? 12th fret on your low E string, E and F. E string down here, E, F. We've been playing this chromatic scale where we got to this E and F, we're right here on string 5, okay? Which is somewhere on page 6. We'll cover that in a second. On your B string, there's a B. Everywhere there's a B, right beside it is a C, okay? On my B string 12th fret, B, 13th fret, C, okay? On our low string, A, B, C, we've been playing this on the guitar chromatic scale on page 6, okay? So let's go right to that. The last week, we did A sharp, B, and C. We moved to the next string and we did a D, D sharp, E, and F. And we moved to the next string and did a G, G sharp, A, and A sharp. And I believe we did that week 2 and we covered it again last week. But last week we went ahead and added C, C sharp, D, and D sharp. So, if in your books, on the blue side right here, if you would write those note names in that I just called out, so back that video up, right on the line, A sharp, B, C, D, D sharp, E, F, G, G sharp, A, B, and on the next string, C, C sharp, D, and D sharp. This is the sharp side. Everywhere there is a regular note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, those notes will stay the same over here on the flat side. We're just going to change the accidentals from this side to this side today, like we did last week. So, can we go up together saying the pitches? So starting here at 5th fret, can we say A, 2, 3, 4, ready, play. A, 2, 3, 4, A sharp, 2, 3, 4, and a B, 2, 3, and a C, and then get your pointer finger ready for the next string. Got a D, 4, D sharp, and then an E is our 3rd finger. String, it's a G note, and a G raised is a G sharp note, and an A note, and an A sharp, and going to the next string, it's a C, and a C sharp, and a D. And when I'm playing this D, I'm going to play the D string. You literally can have the same note. I'm sorry, I stopped in the middle of it. And D sharp. Next note is an E. I'm going to go ahead and go for it. This sounds just like your E strings. And your F. And an F sharp, and there's no note to compare that with. And here's a G. This sounds just like our G string. And then here's a high A, which sounds like our low A string. And an A sharp. And a B. And lastly, a C. Other than that very last note, I was very happy with that. Can every note be, every finger be right beside the fret? So some of the times, instead of playing with me, take a look at what's going on in the video, get it up on a big screen, and the finger number is right beside the fret. So finger 4, right beside its fret. Okay? That last is a little twingy because I was a little too far away. Okay? So you're trying for a really good tone. Descending, this is our high C from now on. I'm going to call this a C, okay? And C's go backwards to B's, and B flats to A's. So notice on the way back, I'm going to change this note name. On the way up, it was A sharp, B, C. On the way down and descending, it's C, B, B flat, A. I'm going to go to my next string. This is a G still. Sounds just like my G string, just an octave higher. Here's a G, and it's now a G flat, and an F, and an E, and then I'm going to go to my next string. This is a tough one. It was a D sharp on the way up right away. This is an E flat right now. Pinky on the third string, E flat, D, D flat, C, next string. I'm going to go right to a B flat, to an A flat, G, next string, F, E, E flat, D, and last string C, B, B flat, and A. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and start on the highest. It's really hard coming down. So if you want to take the time to write those note names down again, way up here, here's our high C. And then in line, C, B, B flat, A, next string. Got a G, G flat, F, and E, next string. Got an E flat, D, D flat, C. Next string, I got a B flat, A flat, and G, and then we should already have the rest of those in F, E, E flat, D, and C, B, B flat, A. Notice up here it's doing the same thing. If I start from our high C, there's a C, B, B flat, A. The next string down always goes a whole step. So on the B string, it starts with a G with your pinky, G, G flat, F, E, and this one gets weird, it just goes right to an E flat on the third string, E flat, D, D flat, C, and then B flat, A flat, G, and then F, E, E flat, D, and then C, B, B flat, A. So there's a pattern of 4 letters on each string, and basically each string is going to have 3 letters. C, B, A, next string, G, F, E, next string, D and C, and the next string, A and G. Okay, so lots of the strings are going to have 3 names to them. I'm going to send out a filled out version, a PDF version, so that everybody's got that. So, going on, I thought we would do something related to that, but make sense of it. So last week I drew this on the board, and you should have had a PDF, or sorry, a picture maybe of me drawing it out, and I had on the top side A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, and on the bottom side coming down it was A flat, G, G flat, F, and so on and so forth. Basically, that becomes what is on page 24. And on page 24, I literally wrote out every single note name on your A string and your E string. And on page 24, we're in the class. Actually, for homework, I would like you to try to do some of these and fill out some more of the strings, okay? So I'm going to take that right now and take this E string, which is not on that, so you can fill this out right away. Everywhere there's an E, there's an F, and behind me, everywhere, anytime that the notes are separated or do not have a line under them, you have to go 2 frets. So every F skips to a G, every G skips to an A, every A skips to a B, every B and C is side by side. We've already proven that before. It's the same thing here. Every C skips to a D, and every D skips to an E. And if we did it right, we're on the double dot 12th fret, and here's an E, and here's its octave E. Okay? Every E goes up to an F. I could keep going if I wanted to. Every F skips to a G. Every G skips to an A. I'm going to start from this E and go down and descend the alphabet. So every E skips down 2 frets to a D. Every D skips 2 frets to a C. Every C is right beside a B. Every B skips 2 frets to an A. Every A skips 2 frets to a G. Every G skips 2 frets to an F. And every F is side by side with the E. Okay? Let's go to the A string that again is on page 24. Every A skips to a B, steps to a C, skips to a D, skips to an E. And anytime you want to, you can stop. So this E sounds like this E. This D basically sounds like that D if I was a little bit more in tune. So back to my E at 7th fret. We'll do it again. A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so I'm at 7th fret. Every E is right beside an F. Every F skips to a G. This sounds just like my G string. And every G skips over to an A, and this must be 12th fret, double dot, because this is the open A, and this is 12th fret. Okay, and going backwards, every A skips down to a G. Every G skips down to an F. Every F is side by side with the E. Every E skips to a D. Every D skips to a C. Every C steps 1/2 step, 1 fret to a B, and an open A. So a step is what I'm referring to. It's a whole step. It's 2 frets. It's everywhere the letters don't touch each other. A half step is what I'm going to call a step. Okay, I should refer to it as a half step, but it's a step, and that is the B's and the C's and the E's and the F's. Okay, if I fill everything in and do all steps or half steps, it's A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and at this D at 5th fret, these are the note names that we've been working on for the past couple weeks. D and D sharp, E and F, and then F sharp, G, G sharp, and A. Okay, and I made it to my double dot. Going backwards, it's A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A. Okay? Wayne, is there such a thing as a C flat? Most times we're going to call it a B. A C flat is a C lowered. It's a B most times. Yes, there is such a thing as a C flat, but it's extremely rare. Is there such a thing as a B raised up and called a B sharp? Yes. Okay, we talked about it a little bit last week, but let's not confuse the issue and just say that most times is not going to happen. Okay, so on page 24 is what I just went over linearly, what the alphabet looks like, and all the alphabet letters are in a bold font blue, and then all the half steps are the grayed in letters in between. On one side I did ascending sharps, and on one side I did flats descending. Okay. Next, that was page 24. The fun today begins. Let's learn melodies together. Jay, you still with me? Joe's still back there, I promise you. Can we all flip backwards to page number 11? Working with these new note names, we're going to learn how to read music a little bit in class, okay? It's really super easy. I've made it super easy so everybody can get this. I wrote my own music so I don't have to worry about copyright and everything else. On page 11, I introduce the E string, okay? And on the E string, E's always skip to F's, and F's always skip to G's. I'm going to use an open E string and a pointer finger, first finger on the F, and a third finger on the G. So everybody try that, goof around. An E, and then an F, first fret, and a G at 3rd fret. Last time. E, up to F, and up to G. Okay, I'm going to borrow the page here. We literally just played in red here, E, F, G. And beside this, I have it notated as what it looks like in music. So the E is always the top space on the treble staff, the F is the top line, and the G is the very first note that's right on the top of the staff, on the first space above the staff, okay? Here it is, notated with the fret number that we're on, which also is the same thing as the finger number. So 0 fret, first finger, 3rd finger, okay? On this very first exercise, we're going to play an E and hold it, an F and hold it, a G and hold it, an F and hold it, and an E and hold it, and I literally wrote underneath exactly what we're doing, okay? So on page 11, song number 1, I'll play it for you. It starts on the E string, goes E, 2, 3, then a F, 2, 3, 4, then a G, 2, 3, 4, an F, 2, 3, 4, and an E, 2, 3, 4, stop, okay? Everything is worth 4 beats, nothing is worth 5, nothing's worth 3, so it's hold, 2, 3, 4, next, 2, okay? So here we go. Song number 1 together, everybody. Okay? I keep touching my nose. Now my nose is itchy. I hope that doesn't come through on the video. Okay, maybe I can cut that out later. I don't want anybody to catch anything over the video for me touching my nose. Okay, here we go. Number 1, song. Ready? Here we open E, go. E, 2, 3, then F, 2, 3, 4, then G, 3rd finger, back to first finger, F, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay, those notes that are big and round are called, Joe,
Whole notes.
Whole notes. They are typically worth 4, okay, so 4 beats. E holds for 4 beats, F holds for 4 beats, so on and so forth. Every measure, the place where we drew the notes, measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4, measure 5. This is a 5-measure song, and I have the measure numbers, except for the first one. Measure 2, measure 3, right over top of the bar line that separates each measure. We're going to go to song 2 now, and it is a 2 quarters and a half note. So it's going to go E, E, E for 2, F, F, F for 2. So it's basically the same song, but it has this fancy little repeat sign at the end of it, okay? So the 2 dots mean go back to the very beginning and play that whole phrase again. So here we go. Song number 2, let me play the beginning of it a little bit for you. So it starts out with an E, E, E for 2, F, F, F for 2, and so on and so forth. I'm literally not trying to trick you with the rhythms, just learning these new notes. Again, working on your finger strength so your chords become easier to play when you move around, and then you can play little ditties. Yeah, apparently I can't. Finger down. Okay, you can literally move your hands, and so you need your fingers to be able to move around and play little melodies. Tends to be these 2 fingers more than the others, but that's not to say you can't do something with the other fingers. Okay, so song 2 starts like this. Open E, ready, go. It's E, 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 and then first finger, F, 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 then 3rd fret, G, 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 then back to our F, 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 repeat back to the beginning, E, 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 then F's, F, 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 then G's, and F's, and stop. Okay, so that song sounds a little bit weird, just kind of hangs out on the F at the very end. Song number 3 is those 3 notes kind of sped up. So song number 3 goes E, F, G for 2, E, F, G for 2, and so on. So let's try it together. Ready? A little slower. 2, E up 3, go. E goes up to F, goes up to G, holds for 2. Next measure, E, F, G. 3rd measure, up and down. E, F, G, F, G for 2, G. Next line, measure 5. G goes down to F and E, measure 6. G down to F and E, measure 7. G down to F, down to E, up 1, F, and then open E, holds for 4 counts, and off. So count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at 5, touch your strings. Okay, so there was that page. Feel free to write any note names in. Notice on song 3, I started writing note names in, and then I stopped in the 3rd measure. Okay? So that was that page, page 11, notes on string number 1. Okay? Next page, high E string, more songs related to this E string. Let's read all the directions at the top. You should be in 1st position, which means this finger, instead of being at 5th fret or being at 7th fret, should be right here at 1st fret. Wherever this finger is on the next fret beside it, 2nd fret. This finger covers all the notes. 3rd finger covers all the 3rd fret notes. And the 4th finger covers all the 4th fret notes, if we were to have any. All of these songs do not use your 2nd finger or your 4th finger, which is your middle finger and your pinky. The second idea says, finger number 1, your index finger of your left hand should be right up against the 1st fret wire, so no buzzes again. We've talked about that before. Your thumb, that's the next one. Let's go to the 3rd idea. Your forefinger should be spread open with 1 finger per every fret, like we were doing the chromatic scale. Okay? The 4th idea here says, your thumb should be behind fret number 2 on the back of the neck on the middle ridge. So if you can imagine your neck as being a round shape, you want right in the middle is where your thumb is at. Some guitars in the old days actually had a V shape in the back of the neck, and we call that a ridge, and your thumb would be right on the top of the ridge. Okay? Never move your thumb once it's set. If you have a little piece of tape at the house and you want to put it back there right behind fret number 2, okay? Right behind fret number 2, right in the middle of your neck, boom, that's where your thumb stays. Play each note, play each song until it's perfect. Okay, excellent. How about not perfect? Can you count the time while you play it? Do you have to look at your fingers? Can you try to look at the page and the notes? Okay, I circled in red on the very 4th song, the 1st song on this page, song number 4, a bar line or a measure. That's what that circle indicates. We just talked about that on the previous page. Further on in the song, at the very end of the 4th measure, I circled another in red, a bar line. That's the separation between one measure and another. And at the very end of every song, on that song, I have a big circle, and I have right beneath it defined as a double bar line. So anytime you see a thick bar line, that means the song is over. Okay. In song 5, I have circled measure 2. It's a measure number. And at the end of song 5, I have a circle around the repeat sign at the very end, and I have that notated as repeat sign. In song 6, I have the time signature. We really need to worry about the top number. The time signatures are, we're either going to count to 3 or count to 4. Song 6 is in 4/4 time, we count to 4. Song 5 is in 3/4 time, we count to 3. Song 4 on this page is in 3/4 time, also we count to 3. And at the very last circled red thing on this page is a clef sign that's in song 6 around measure 5, and it says, it's a clef sign. It means it's a treble clef. The guitar instrument is basically all the notes are above middle C, and we are playing in a treble clef. Okay, so here we go. Good luck. Song number 4. It basically walks up 3 notes, an E and an F and a G, and then on the second line, I start messing around with what if we play some notes side by side. You can mess around at your house. There's only 3 notes, so you can only do so many side by side notes. You can go up 3 notes, down 3 notes. You can skip from an E to a G. And you can either play F's and G's or E's and F's, and that's all you can do on the string at this point in time. So here we go. Song number 4. Going up 2, E, F, and G, go. E up to F, up to G again. E, F, G, third measure. E, F, G, and a big old F. Holds for 3 beats. Next line, go. F and G and F, measure 6. Measure 7, E, D, F, E, holds for 3, and done. Okay, so there is that one. Sure, gonna go on. Song number 5 starts as a G scale going down. Okay, so song 4 was going up, song 5 is going down. The song is gonna repeat. Ready? High G, 3rd fret, go. G down to F and E, G down to F. 2 F's up, 2 F's down, measure 5, G down 3, measure 6, G down 3, then 2 F's and 2 G's. 1, 2, now I'm going to count it. Beginning, 1, 2, 3, measure 2, 1, 2, measure 3, measure 5, 1, 2, 3, measure 6, 2, 3, measure 7, 2, 3, and then a G holds for 3, off. Okay. Song number 6. Basically, I'm practicing some skipping here. Okay, so E's to G's. Ready, beginning, go. E, G, G, E for 2, and G for 2. Good, let's stop. Let's do song number 6 again. Ready, go. E up to G, E up to G, and then an E half note, hold for 2, and G holds for 2. Then 2 G's, measure 3, 2 F's, and a whole note E to next line. G's and E's, go. G's and E's. E holds for 2, measure 7, 2 F's, up to a G, down, back to the E. E holds for 4 B's, off. Okay, next. Joe, can you see the time on that, the bottom of the footage on the camera? It's rolling time.
20-something. 29.
29 minutes, okay. I'll probably cut it short because I'm just talking fast. I'm taking no explanations and such here, and it's going to be a lot of stuff. Feel free at the house, stop and go back to different sections of this and practice, okay? The very next page, 13, is the same finger numbers, open 1 and 3, but on the B string. So here's B string, B, C, D, okay? I have it in there in red. You can see my B, C, and D, and I have it in red, open, 1 and 3, and I did this on purpose, and I choose to teach the guitar up here. Lots of people do, because notice the E notes are right beside the B notes. Okay, open 1 3, open 1 3. So this is kind of a little review of the previous page. So here's your B string, string 2, song number 7 on page 13. We have an open B. Everybody ready? Here we go. String 2, B, 2 3. Then first finger's a C, 2 3 4, a D, 2 3, back to a C, 2 3, and then down to open B, B, 2 3 4, double bar line off. Song 8, same notes, but we're doing B, B, B for 2, quarter, quarter, half note, quarter, quarter, half. Okay, so here we go. Song number 8. Ready? Open B string. Here we go. It's B, B, B for 2. C, C, C for 2. D, D, D for 2. C, 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 and it repeats. B, B, B for 2. C, C, C for 2. You say it. D, 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 and C, C, C. We'll do it one more time. Repeat. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Third measure. 1, 2, 3. Song 8's about done. C, C, C for 2. Off. Okay. At home, go back and review these. Say the letters with me. A, B, C, D, E, whatever. Okay, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say measure 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 2, 2, 3, 4, measure 3, 2, 3, 4, measure 4, 2, 3, measure 5, 2. Okay, so you can kind of practice where you're at to kind of know where you're going in the song. Okay, song 9 and song 10, I'm going to have you guys review on your own, and I'm going to go a little bit further ahead. I'm also going to pass out a previous video that I've done on this section, which will basically go over the same things. Okay, song number 11 I want to go to. I'm going to introduce eighth notes. So when you have 2 quarter notes that are tied together with a big thick thing at the bottom, the thing at the bottom is called a stem. Excuse me, a beam. The parts going down are stems. And so it is B, 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 B. Song 11, I wrote to copy Jingle Bells. Can't say that because Jingle Bells is still copyrighted, okay? So it sounds like fast, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. Okay, everybody ready? Song 11, ready, go. Fast, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. One more time, I'll do it with my thumb. Ready, go. Fast, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow, okay? I'm gonna go, it's kind of fast here. I'm gonna go to the second measure, and it's the same thing on the E string, and it's the same rhythm. Ready? E string is E, 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 E. Okay, so measure 2 of song 11. Ready again, go. E, 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 E. I'll put those 2 measures together. So here's measure 1 and measure 2 together. Ready? A little slower. Here we go. B, 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 and then E, 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 stop. Measure 3. 2 F's, 2 E's, 2 F's, E, and measure 4 is the same thing. So now I'm going to play that whole line with you. Measure 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. 2, slower. Go. First measure. Look at your page. Then high E's. Then 2 F's and 2 E's. Back, I'm going to count it as a musician. So here's what it sounds like with counting. Ready, go, play. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, and this time I'm going to go on. Measure 5. 1 and 2. It's a repeat. Measure 6 is the E. Measure 7 is just like measure 3. And last measure is the first measure that's different. So it's a high G, third finger, down to first finger. 2, off. Okay. Song 12 introduced rests. So here's all the notes that we've learned thus far with a rest in it. So song 12 goes E, rest, E, D, rest, D, C, rest, C, rest, okay? So it's E, rest, E, D, rest, D, C's in measure 3, and E's in measure 4. Again, if you want to write in pencil, a little helper above each note to tell you that what letter it is to help you if you want to write a finger number. So it's open, and then measure 2, it's 3, and measure 3, it's 1 finger number, and then measure 4, it's an open E. Sometimes that's helpful. Open E, 3rd fret D, 1st fret C, if you write those things in. So I write 0/E, I write 3/D, okay? And song 13, I'm back into 3/4 time. So there's 3 things in a measure. These are called dotted half notes. So when you take a half note and you dot it, you're adding value back to the half note, 50%. So instead of worth 2 beats, it's worth 3. So song 13 goes G, 3 beats, F, 3 beats, E, 3 beats, and then D up 3. 2, F, E for 2, D, C, rest, C, 2, 3, off. Okay, I'm gonna play that one again to give you time to get in. Okay, 1, and do this on any song before. Go back, run the video back, start it, let me count you in and join me. Song 13, ready, here we go. G for 3, then F for 3 beats, E for 3 beats, D rest, C, 2, 3. Okay. The notes could work with the chord. G chord, then F chord, and E chord, B scale, then a G, F, E, B, C, 2, C, C. So if you want to go back and play with me, you want to play the melody with my chords, okay? So try that melody again. 1, ready, go. G, 2, 3, F, 2, 3, E, 2, 3, B up 3, G, 2, 3, E, 2, then measure 7, rest, 1, 2, 3, off. Okay? So in the class, in the future, we're going to be playing chords along with the melodies to make it more fun. So that was basically a lot. Page 11, 12, 13, and 14 today. On the next page, if you wanted to go ahead, you've got melodies that you can play. Ode to Joy is E, F, G, G, F, E, D. It's all notated for you. Skip to a Lou down there. E's and C's, E's up to G's. Notice it's space to a space, space to a space. Whenever you're in music and you go from spaces to spaces, we call those skips, okay? And you're basically outlining a chord. On the next 2 measures of skip to Malou, measures 3 and 4, it's a D on a to a B on a line, and D's skip up to F on a line. So the whole song, if you did not know this, everybody thought, oh, it's just a cute song with words about skipping to Malou. It was actually teaching young musicians the distance between notes. I got In the Jungle on the next page. Shh, that's probably copyrighted. Probably shouldn't be in my book. Okay, but you won't tell, will you? Not like we paid lots of money for the books. I think the books were free. Here we go. Best chords ever on the next page. You've been working on your G chord. Move 2 fingers down, your C9, and then not on this page, an F6/9, like a jazz chord, okay? So let's practice together for the end of the class here. So you can pause the video, go back and do the other stuff. You can go on forward with this. I'm gonna play 4 G's, 4 C's, 4 G's, 4 C's, just back and forth. Ready? Here we go. G, G, all down strums, C chord. G, C. Now I'm gonna do this for about a minute. Can your hands not get tired? And can you notice I'm only moving 2 fingers in my left hand? tighten my pick up without losing anything. I'm gonna go loud again. See, no brushy sound. My pick is really short. Okay, good. Can you tell that I was coming to an end? Okay. Can you watch what's going on around you? Okay. Last week we were working on down, down, up, down, 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 up. Join me, G chord. Down, down, up, down, down, down. Now nothing is changing because I'm still going down, 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 down the whole time. Down, down, up, down, down. I'm just dragging my finger or my pick. Go back to I would play with the chords that are side by side. So you can take your C chord, go to your F chord. Okay, just for an example, take some time out here, pause the video, come back later, just make sure that your hands relax. I recommend all my students, drop your left hand in particular, shake it out, okay? Get the blood flowing. You do not want to be doing these exercises for more than 5 minutes, okay? Particularly the chordal stuff. You end up clamping your hand an awful lot. And it's not going to hurt you, but we did talk about getting the creases in your fingers, and if you push too hard or do too much here these days, if you have plenty of time to practice, it's awesome, but spread it out so that you don't hurt your fingers. If you start noticing pain at the ends of your fingers, or if you look at the ends of your fingers and they're blue and purple, you went too far, stop. You're going to have to take some time off, okay? So don't get all excited. You have time to practice the guitar. Be responsible with how you do it, okay? Next. We have done a D chord. We've talked about it before, I think. You're going to take your G chord. You're going to take your pinky off, your middle finger off, and here's what I call a fake G chord. Okay? It's actually a G6. It's a jazz chord. Your first trick is being able to take your middle finger all the way across the board. So can your middle finger go to string 6, fret 3, and then your middle finger go all the way across the board to string 1, fret 2. This is a fake D chord. Okay, these aren't on the sheet, but it's the fastest way that I can teach you to get back and forth and train this ring finger, finger 3, to always sit there on that D note. When you got that pretty smooth and comfortable, I'm playing 6 strings, I'm playing 4 strings. For this, you can't play 5. Okay, I am kind of touching the 5th string with my middle finger. So my middle finger is pushing down string 6, but leaning over a little bit to grab that next string to mute it, okay? Then I'm going to add my pinky finger and my pointer finger back on the original G chord. Take your pinky off, take your middle finger, move it all the way across the board, and your pointer finger is going to land on the 3rd string. So your pointer finger is going to go from string 5 to string 3. Take your pointer finger off, pinky finger down, move those middle finger all the way across, and pointer finger back to string 5, and there's your G chord. So this week, can you practice I practiced for a whole week, the fake G chord, the fake D chord. I'll try to find a fret sheet where I've got that written out, okay? From different angles here, maybe you can see better what I'm doing. Straight on. Pinky fingers out of the way. I'd recommend is hold, take your fingers off, except for your ring finger. Hold, 2, 3, move back. Strum, move your fingers, 3, 4, D chord, and then back to your G chord. Okay? From your G chord, here's the E minor. This is the 4th chord on this page. Middle finger, B string, A string, 2nd fret on a B, okay? And And the third finger's right beside it. So looks just like that. You can play all strings. The green number 0 means that is a low E. That's where you're getting your power from. Okay. On your D chord, you're getting your power from your D string. On your C chord, you're getting your power from the note C on the A string. And the G chord, you're getting the note and the name of the chord and the power from it. The lowest note is a low G. So you have a G chord, a C chord, a D chord, and then an E minor chord. The E minor chord, notice, is right beside an A minor chord if you want to look ahead. And your A minor chord is very relative to a C chord, or real C chord, because you just take your ring finger on the A minor chord and move it over, and you got the real C chord. And you can see the real C chord is basically the same notes as my C9 chord. And even when you play a real C chord, you can add a 9 with your pinky finger. Same sound that we're doing there. Okay, so I think that's it for homework today. We did an awful lot of stuff. Go back to the video. Your chromatic scale, can you figure out where your A, B, C at 5th fret, D, E, F, notice the notes side by side, G, A, we got a B in there somewhere, C, D, I guess I skipped the B, and then E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, anything on your low E string is going to be the same on your high string. On the way up, A sharp, B, C, D, D sharp, E, F, G, G sharp, A sharp. Then there's a B that's out here. And then a C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, A sharp, B, C. And on the way down, C, B, B flat, A, G, G flat, F, E, E flat, D, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E, E flat, D, G, C rather, B, B flat, A. Okay? So can you figure out where your natural notes are on the fretboard? And then we're also working on that linear exercise on your A string. Can you find a B that's 2 above that? C skips to D skips to E. Matter of fact, the D and the E we're talking about are right here. Here's the F. F's skip to G's always. G's skip to A's, and this must be your 12th fret right there. Has to be. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did it right. Okay? You should be able to do that with every single string in a week or two. Okay? If you want to get some practice, there are some available open fret sheets for you to practice on with that at the back of your book. I was referring today to page 24, where I've already done it. And if you flip a few pages past that, page 29 and 30, you could do some copies at your house. I was actually starting to do some quizzes on page 31 and 32 that we will be doing in class. And then learn your alphabet, that's on page 33. And then for you advanced students, I've got some ideas that will help you learn all your scales and keys on page 34 and 35. And that's basically it today. Plenty of stuff to do. I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful time during this awkward time that the whole nation and country's going through. Amen. Mr. Wayne's out of here. Love you guys. Take care.